To go. Okay, and here we are. So I'm going to just get everybody oriented to what's going on here, and we're going to officially get started. I'm so glad that we got this worked out. So welcome to the tour of the studio of Andre Veloux, where we're going to learn how he creates his masterpieces from Lego. And just a little bit of orientation to the screen and what is happening. You can see at the bottom, there's a blue link. It says visit the kids art page created by Andre Veloux. If you click on that, it will take you directly to the page where Andre has made available the templates for you to try out at home. And these are templates that Andre made when he was at the library as our artist in residence. And we decided that it would be a fun thing to put online for kids to try at home. You can also see next to there, or just beneath it, there's a place that says ask a question. So as Mr. Veloux is talking, if you have a question for him, feel free to type it in that box. And at the end, we'll go and look at the questions. And if someone else asks the same question you were thinking of, you can vote it up so we can see what questions are the most popular. And finally, right now you can see there's a chat box on. I'm going to turn the chat box off so we can all focus on the tour, but you guys, again, you can still ask the questions. And then I'll bring the chat box at the end so we can maybe bring a few of you on screen live. So let me just get the, Becky, if you're still out there, if you could turn the chat box off, that would be helpful so I can go on with the introduction. And I know for anybody who's logging on from the Princeton area, and I see already that we have quite a few people on here from the local schools who probably don't need much of an introduction to Mr. Veloux or Andre Veloux. But for those of you who are not from Princeton or maybe tuning in from elsewhere, because I could see by the registration that we have people from all across the US tuning on with us today, which is quite exciting. Let me introduce you a little bit. So this is Andre Veloux, who was born in the UK, but now he resides in Princeton, New Jersey with his wife and daughter. He has shown at galleries all across the country, including Scope Art Miami, and he is represented by the Krause Gallery in New York City, where his third show opened in October of 2019. His work, which is created entirely from Lego, is in private collections worldwide and has been installed in public spaces as well as many group shows. And one of his group, actually it was not a group show, one of his private shows or one of his first big shows was well, his first smaller show was in Princeton at Small World Coffee. Shout out to our local Small World Coffee because we love them. And then that's where the library first discovered his works and saw them. Some of his strawberries were hanging up there, which he's known for. And so we reached out and we said, we love your work. And that's when we discovered he was doing these awesome portraits that he's going to show us. And so we had a great time and did a great artist in residence. He was our first artist in residence. And so now we're so happy that he's going to give us studio tour. So without further ado, take it away, Mr. Veloux.
Hi. Okay, well, sorry for the delay. We were frantically texting off screen trying to make it work, but we got there in the end. So thanks for waiting, everybody. Okay, so I'm just in, I have this kind of a room where I do all the design work. It's not the actual studio, it's where I have my computer and things like that, but I do have some of my pieces on the wall in here, which I'm going to show you. This is, needs no introduction, this lady, and this is obviously Ruth Bader Ginsberg. And generally you can see with these portraits how they're in kind of 3 dimensions if you get close, and they're also very tactile, you can touch them. And usually with my portrait pieces, I do the 3 dimensions in the hair aspect, but for Ruth Bader Ginsberg, I did it in the collar because the collar is such a, it's so, you know, it's one of the key things is a collar. So if you move on next to her, for the library show, the library actually had a visit by a photographer who had followed Michelle Obama around the White House. And they asked me to do a Michelle Obama to show at the same time. And it's the Michelle Obama, the face is flat, but I've done the 3-dimensional aspects into the hair. You can see how the light shines off that. So this one here, this is actually not an icon. Before I did the icons, I did practice work with some general kind of portraits of faces. This one, the hair is nearly all the same color, but with the light that shines off it and reflects in different places, it kind of comes cool, and it has this kind of pop art feel with the yellow background. And again, the face is kind of flat. And while we're in here, I'd like to show you this piece. So I have done many strawberries. Usually they're in 3 dimensions, but last year at university we did a piece that this is completely flat, but members of the public did it actually as an event during Communiversity. So about 120 people participated and built this during Communiversity, and it took about 5 hours.
And Andre, this is Janie popping in. Can we have the camera go back a little bit further and scan so we can see the art portraits from a little bit further out? The close-up was great, but just maybe an overview for us, that would be great.
Yeah, they really come together when you move further away.
Yeah.
So
the distance view, and just to think that those are all made from Lego is just so fascinating.
Yeah, and I use kind of smooth pieces because most people, I'm sure you're all familiar with types of Lego. I'll show you in a minute, you know, bricks and plates, but I use tiles on the top and slopes to give that really, really nice finish. So one more I have in this room is this one. This is Malala. This is a smaller one. Again, I've got the hair in 3 dimensions and the face is flat. This came out really well with dark brown all the way around.
They're really just so striking, especially when you see them in person. The way that the light does reflect is really fascinating, and the way that you build them up. So one of the things when Andre did his residency is he worked in the lobby of the library, and we got to see some pieces that you were working on Michelle in the lobby for a while.
I was, yeah.
So we got to see Michelle Obama being built live in the lobby, which was so interesting. And I just think seeing Michelle and RBG together, it makes my heart happy.
So if you want to come into the actual studio.
Okay, so that wasn't your actual studio. That was just a
yes,
a
that's
room.
where I kind of sit down with the computer. You can see there's a desk there, so I sit at the desk.
So you start your portraits at a desk at a computer?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And so this is the studio. Now, what I want to just show you for everybody watching, that I have a lot of templates on the website. We're actually going to make these 2 today. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's already printed them off or they want to print them off. If they want to follow, I don't know, but these are the 2 ones we're going to be doing.
The penguin and the rocket ship. Great.
Yeah. And on the website, this is my website here. And so if you go to the kids art section there, all the PDFs are down here, and you just click on whatever one you want. So say the rocket, you just click on it and there it is, and you can print it off. And these are all actual Lego colors, okay? So this is like light blue, dark blue, red, pink. These are different, orange and yellow. So, you know, you can use any kind of color. You can mix the colors yourself, but they are real Lego colors that I use there. Okay, so I'm sure you want to see all the Lego and stuff in here. So I want to show you firstly the types of bricks I use. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the types of bricks, but nonetheless. So brick themselves, which is, you know, the solid bricks, I use these to build up the structure before on the base layer, and again with plates as well at the edges. You can see these are the kind of plate pieces. They're smaller. And then for the top layers, I use tiles in all kinds of colors. And for like hair or 3-dimensional elements, I use the slopes. And also I'll show you the Lego colors we've got. So there are quite a few Lego colors these days. I think there's 32. I'm not entirely sure. They're not all really usable. These are kind of like the traditional colors that we remember from those of us who are old enough to remember when there was only traditional colors. And nowadays there's more other colors which are useful to use. Okay. So if I show you, this is the Lego selection here.
But Andre, does that mean that you're still limited to 32 colors when you're trying to make these portraits?
Yes, I am. Yeah, it has to be these colors.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is quite difficult. So this is the Lego selection, all very well organized. So, for example, all these here are bricks. So this is like one tub of bricks. And so all divided into types. So 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3. It's red, dark pink. This is called medium nougat, bright pink, and you see all the way down all the different colors. And then we have plates. Incidentally, the bigger bricks I have in these very large tubs here because they don't fit in the smaller ones. Everything is sorted, of course. So, and then if we move on to the plates, So again, they're sorted out one by one. This is called bright light orange. 1 by 2, 1 by 3. There's even corner pieces. Corner pieces. And we have orange and tan.
So how much time do you spend organizing your Legos, Andre?
I quite enjoy organizing it, actually. Quite a lot of time. Quite a lot of time, yeah. Because, I mean, obviously as I go along, they all get sorted immediately. So it's not like you spend a lot of time in one go. But every time you get a new order, you have to put them straight in there. And then we have tiles for the top layer. These are so beautiful, these pieces. The colours pink, magenta, dark pink, purple, lime. Wow. Dark azure, you know. And some of them quite.
So do you have to custom order these pieces?
You do actually. I mean, I'm going to show you on the website later. There's 2 places you can get them from. There's a place called Bricklink, which is like an eBay of Lego, which anybody can use. And then of course there's Lego.com. Lego.com do have quite a large selection, but it does take longer for them to arrive. But yeah, you have to order them. Unfortunately, at the moment, due to the coronavirus, they're not supplying Lego in the same way. The kind of orders from Europe have kind of stopped. So it's a bit of a Lego supply issue at the moment. Finally, my favourite 2 boxes, which are the slope boxes, because you get all the colours in the boxes. This is for the hair and things like that. So check that. Wow. And so if you imagine there's like over 300 of these in each of these sections, so you can imagine how many bricks are in total.
So how much does it cost for like a little tiny slope brick?
Well, for example, if you shop around, you can get a black one for maybe 1 cent.
Okay.
But maybe a metallic gold might cost you 10 cents.
Wow.
So yeah, the kind of standard colours are a bit cheaper. White you can probably get for about 3 cents. Black is the easiest to find. But when you get to more difficult colours, this is a new one called Coral. You're probably not. That's going to be 5 or 6 cents each. So it does add up very quickly, the cost of all these pieces.
So now, do you only use Lego, or do you go? I know there's other company that makes knockoff bricks. Or are you just like really committed to Lego?
I only use Lego bricks, yeah, all the time.
Okay.
They're all Lego bricks. And I also have to say that this tub here, I did once knock it on the floor and had to pick them all up and resort them, which did take a long time. Okay, so that's all the bricks. So in a minute she'll start with some building. So I just want to show you these 2 pieces on the table here, because you've seen the strawberry before. This is a strawberry that's kind of in process. So you can see how I started to build up the middle section with bricks. So these are brick pieces. I can get one out. It's a regular brick piece there. So the middle section is all brick, and then the outer layer is all plates. And then you put another layer of plates on in the middle here, and then another layer of plates here. And once you've done all that, you then put all this on top, which are the slopes which I showed you before. So like that. That's how you end up with the strawberry.
So what? Can you show that again from a little bit more of a distance? It blurs a little bit when you go up too close.
And that's the final strawberry there. So I'm just going to take on a very brief tour of the studio, because there's some more works in here. There's one more icon here, Jane Fonda. Actually, the first icon I ever made. Back then I had this idea of the noise background. Again, the hair is in 3 dimensions, and the face is flat. And I've got a portrait of somebody here who we could do with right now, but there we go.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Obama. Oops, my dog.
So a couple of this is Bjork here. This is beautiful. The hair came out so well on this one. And all the layers. Because her hair was all completely black, so just all black. As you know, Jane, we've been doing this series of minis. This is the latest mini. These are only 12 by 12 in size. Not quite finished.
Now, who is that?
That's Wonder Woman. Can you see?
Yep. Yeah, it's a little bit better when the phone settles in.
Yeah.
I see something unique behind you. What's going on behind you?
So you see this, there's these three, there's actually four of them. I don't know if anybody can guess who they are. I'm doing a commission of these four women. I'll leave that into the chat box, somebody can put in who they are. And then there's Greta Thunberg here.
Oh, Greta, that's beautiful. I haven't seen that one in the hole yet.
Yeah, it's not quite finished. I've actually run out of background blue, and I can't get any more because Lego stopped sending out the pieces for now. I want to show you one more thing, which is this. This is the time-lapse camera that I use for doing time lapses of the pieces. That sets over the desk. Okay, so without further ado, I think we should start building some Lego. Right, so I'm going to introduce you to my daughter.
Hello.
Natalia. She's going to build one of the pieces. Right, do you want to choose a piece?
Yeah.
Now, why is it that we're having Natalia build instead of you? I know there is a reason. You want to tell everybody why?
Because I would do it dead fast. I would just like, it would take probably about a minute. So you wouldn't actually see somebody actually go through the process of working out where the pieces were going to go in the same way. So it's much better if somebody else does it. Okay, because I know all the pieces are. I just do it too fast. Okay.
Okay.
A bit more.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right. So I want to show you some. So the base plates we use. So we're all familiar with this kind of base plate, are we? This is a traditional Lego base plate, 32 by 32 studs. Okay, that's what we can use to build them. And all the designs are on 32 by 32 templates. That's the packaging, the Lego packaging. Now, although you did ask me, are all my pieces Lego? The only thing I don't sometimes use, which is Lego, are these. These are base plates which are not Lego, okay? And you can buy these from toy shops or online. And the difference is they have a much thicker base to them. You see, and so they have a much better structure, so they're easier to work with. Okay, so Natalia's going to use one of those for this piece. Okay, right. Use white. Right, you're going to use white. Okay, that's right. Yours use white.
It's a penguin. It's got to be in the snow.
So, there's some bricks.
Okay.
Not good.
I'm going to start by picking a midpoint and kind of going from there. So, let's see, 15.
So can you see okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So with the templates, the idea is that, you print them off and you have a go with them. But as we've seen from when we did the thing at the library, that the kids very, very quickly get into just doing their own designs and things. So these are just really starters for people to get ideas. So if you've got any questions, I could answer them while Natalia does this.
Okay, so Natalia's counting and building. I'm going to go down to the question box and let's see what questions have already appeared. Someone guessed that it was the Golden Girls that you were doing.
Correct.
Several people said, are there 3 women that you're doing now the Golden Girls? And are they all finished already?
No, they're not finished. There's actually 4. I haven't started the 4th one yet. So, no, you see, that's why you can still see studs. I'll just quickly move the camera over. You can still see, if you go up close to these, you can still see there's some studs in there. So I haven't filled in the middle there. And this bit is structure that hasn't got the top layer on yet. You see, so they're not finished yet.
Yeah. So someone wants to know how much experimentation goes into figuring out which colors to use in your pixelation that creates highlights. So how do you figure out the pixelation to create highlights, and how much experimentation? Is there a lot of taking on and off, for instance?
The taking on and off happens on the computer more than on the actual artwork. So I design the plan on the computer first. And I start with the photograph and then I kind of pixelate it using the Lego palette. And then I work back and forth, changing bits by hand and changing colours. And so most of the work is, in that sense, is done on the computer, because it's a lot easier to change a pixel on the computer than it is to be taking pieces on and off actual portrait. But I do change the portraits a little bit afterwards. When you actually see it finally, you can change it.
Okay. So, so how long does it take you then to create a template, like for, say, for instance, for let's go with RBG. So you must do it then on a grid on the computer. Is there like what software?
Yeah, I have software that pixelates a photograph. And then you set the palette to the Lego palette, so you have a limited number of colors.
And so then how long does that process take?
Well, that process depends on the work. It could take anything from 1 day to 18 months. So it depends. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It usually, but I would say in general, it probably takes several weeks of having a go at it. You know, you come back to it over and over again to really tweak it and work on it. So yeah, it does take a long time. I mean, in terms of actual time, it's probably quite a few hours of work. There's so many designs I have which have been deleted that I don't use. So sometimes putting orange bricks in the middle there.
Now this looks like it's the question coming from a mom. She wants to know what would you think is the most simple and efficient way to store regular Lego at home?
Is that not loose, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, these tubs are very, very good. So that if you go to, I got them all from Joann's Fabrics. They have lots and lots of sewing kind of things. So I get the tubs from there. So they're really, really good, and they're not very expensive. So I think if you go to Joann's Fabrics and look at all the sewing, for bobbins and sewing needles and things like that, it's really, really good. So
it's easy then to sort and stack and take out just what you need. Yeah. When my son's 16, when he was younger and was into Lego, we were constantly trying to find the battle of how to best organize and store it. And it was an ongoing battle. So I can really feel anybody who has a child at home who loves Lego, it's an ongoing. We also ended up buying him at one point. I'm not sure if anybody's seen it. They do have these Lego mats that are just, I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger. Wow, look at her build there.
Yeah.
They do have these mats that you can find that are like big round mats with a drawstring at the edge, and you put all the Lego in the middle, and then they can sit down and play. And then when they're finished, you just literally take the drawstring and go up, and then you can put the bag away. And so, I mean, that's better for like little kids who just want to play and explore.
To sort them, that's ideal. Yeah.
Yeah. So there, actually, now we're side by side here a little bit. So yeah, there's all different storage methods, and I think it depends on how your child likes to use them a little bit, maybe.
I think so. So she's using tiles now for the edge of the penguin. So she's put bricks in the middle.
So is that Penguin 3D then?
She's doing it a little bit 3D. Yeah, she's with the program here, I can say.
Okay. So, Natalia, can you just tell us your process that you've been doing there?
Yeah, so I decided before I started that I wanted to build up the middle bit and then do flat around the outside, just to make it kind of different and exciting. And so I thought it probably is easier to start with the bricks and put the flat around it, although you definitely could do either one. And so I think the trickiest bit is counting to where the middle starting point is, even though it's not super important that it's centered. But so I kind of focus on just going across, counting how many are in each row, and I have to do some maths, which has been challenging me, to be honest, where you have to figure out how to make 7 from the bricks available. So 3 and 4 will do 7 across here. So I've been kind of using that process. And then I switched to tiles and I'm doing the same thing. But now I'm thinking I can use some vertical ones as well as horizontals and kind of save on brick numbers. So I'm rethinking my method.
Yeah, she didn't get to practice beforehand. I wanted to be as realistic as possible.
So there's a lot of counting involved to get the right spacing in doing these patterns.
Yeah.
In my experience, it's a bit like embroidery, if anyone's ever tried that.
Oh, that's a really unique comparison. Yeah. Kind of like doing cross stitch, you mean?
Yes, exactly. cross stitch.
Counted cross stitch, yeah. Well, Andre, I would have to say the pixelation and counted cross stitch, that is a very apt description.
It's just occurred to me, actually.
Yeah. So as you know, we've got the Kids Art Gallery on the website. If people want to email us anything, any of their creations, we'll put them up there.
So one of the questions was was this. Hang on, let me go back to the questions. The kids want to know, is it possible to watch you work? This has been upvoted 6 times. Would it be possible to watch you work assembling a small design to see how you could actually just choose pieces and do it on the fly is kind of what it is. I was looking at, as Natalia was building the penguin, I don't know if you have any blue handy, maybe you could build a little iceberg for him to sit on and we could just watch you try to build an iceberg out of nowhere.
I could have a go. Right, that could be tricky.
Yeah.
Just get some shades of blue maybe and build us an ice floe for him to sit on.
Okay.
See? Oh yeah. It's a real tour now. We're going live. We're going off script, Andre. I'm sorry. But that's what they want. They want off script here. Keep asking the questions in that question box. And remember, if you're at home, we're going to bring some kids on to be on screen with Andre at the end. So if you have a piece of Lego at home that you want to show Andre, get it ready.
We're getting loads of Lego out now. So yeah. So I'm going to put I think I'll put some plates on the bottom for the iceberg that our penguin's going to be living in.
Okay, so here's our penguin getting finished live on screen. And now.
So Natalia's actually just finishing off the nose here and the eyes.
Oh, you're right. You go very quickly at this, don't you?
This is why I'm doing it.
I mean, I wouldn't actually usually do it on the fly. I would do it on the computer first because then I can take some good looks over it. But I think these are the kind of colours I would use.
So are you starting out with a lighter color then?
This is light aqua. This is, light blue. And then...
Do we have a third person in the room?
Yeah, we do. We have Mrs. Veloux.
Mrs. Veloux is there. I was guessing Mrs. Veloux might be behind the scenes.
We also have the puppy.
Oh!
4 months old.
He's always helping me.
Yes.
So this is really a family affair today online. It's at home with the Veloux family. And
it's fair for everybody right now, isn't it?
Yeah, we got the puppy, the daughter, and yeah.
Quarantine.
Yeah. So.
Don't stop.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to start with the light blue to build a iceberg. That was my idea of what we could do here.
This is going to be the iceberg.
In the meantime, I'm going to start the rocket.
Okay. I like how the rocket, it kind of looks like a little bit of a heart at the end.
Yeah.
It's a flame, but it's got slightly a heart shape to it.
Yeah, that's true.
What color do you want?
Thinking. I need this box. This one's damaged. There's a lot of Lego on the table now.
Yeah, there's never usually this much Lego on the table.
Right.
So here's our.
So we have some people saying how much they like your puppy, that he's a cute puppy. And what is the name?
She's called Sibelius.
Sibelius.
Sibelius, as in the composer. But we call her Sibby.
Okay.
I know, okay.
Okay.
Right, then we're going to put some C in, aren't we? We're going to put some C.
Penguin's looking good.
So we're going to put some C as well.
Oh my goodness. So you did light blue and then you put some white elements on there that made it.
Yeah.
So this is something for the kids at home who are watching. The templates are there, as he said, as a guide for you, but then you can add to it. And if you think that you want your penguin sitting on an iceberg, try to design your own iceberg. Or if you're building the rocket ship that Natalia is doing right now, maybe you want to add a planet in the corner or some stars. So what I really like about the templates that you've created, Mr. Veloux, is that they are just that. They're starting points for creativity. Exactly. And when as you said, when we did the workshop at the library, a lot of the kids started out doing one of the small templates that you made, and then they branched off and added to them, or they just did their own designs. Yeah. And I think doing Lego in this fashion as portraits or flat, as opposed to always as houses and models, is just a whole new different way to think and use your Lego.
I agree. So, and because we've actually made our own, that's the dog, by the way, complaining.
Also, when you're at home building these, you don't have to stick to just tiles and bricks like we are. You could use wheels and all sorts of different bricks that you might have lying around the house. Which can be
if you go online, and I think Andre, I'm going to ask this question and then go back to theirs. So if kids go home after this that have been watching, or parents encourage their children to do this after they've watched, they can take a picture of their artwork and send it to go onto your gallery of kids' work. Is that correct?
That's right. That's the link next to the templates. There's a thing called Kids Art Gallery. If you send it, I'll put it up there, and there's some already.
So then you can have your Lego masterpieces beside Andre Veloux, the Lego artist himself. But Andre, you actually, I know from working with you, although you work with Lego, you don't really want to be known as a Lego artist. You're really a feminist artist. And can you tell kids out there what that means?
Well, that means that, I stand up for women and women's rights and the equality of women and all the things that women have to deal with to make the world a more equal place for everybody, men and women, boys and girls. Right.
And I think that's an important message, kids. I think a lot of people think that only women can be feminists, and men can be feminists too. Being a feminist means that you support equal rights, that both genders are equal, or all genders, I should say, really, are equal. And that that there is the thing is, he for she, which is men for women, men standing up for equality for women. And I love how your artwork displays that through making portraits of strong women and other types of art for women.
Yeah. It's important to stand up for women as well, because if women could have achieved it on their own by now, they would have done. So men have to join in as well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see this. This is a signature. I have many of these, and because you asked me to do this iceberg, I'm going to put that in the piece there.
So how do you get signature bricks? Do you have to?
They're custom ordered and they're engraved by an engraver. So you have them custom made.
Okay, so can we see our penguin sitting on an iceberg? Bring him up to the camera now. Oh my goodness.
There's our penguin. On the sea, yeah.
There we go. And I like how you made him 3D on the iceberg too.
Yeah, that's the ice. So these are all the signature bricks.
Folks. Wow.
Yes, they're custom made. So Natalia's cracking on with the rocket here.
Yeah.
Now, Natalia, what's the biggest difficulty with the rocket so far? Anything?
I think it's pretty good. I like that it's very linear, so I can go top to bottom pretty easily. One thing I'm noticing that I'm doing, that I've learned from him doing his work, is trying to make all of these lines kind of so there isn't one line going one way and kind of staggering the bricks, if that makes sense. Like using this one and putting these so that they all kind of misalign. It kind of gives a smoother look, which I know Mr. Veloux does in all of his works, so I've caught up on that.
But now if you're doing this at home and you don't have blue bricks and you want to do the rocket ship, you could do or you don't have flat bricks, you can do the flat ones aren't called bricks, are they?
They're called tiles, yeah.
If you don't have flat tiles, you could still do the rocket ship using bricks, and you could do it in any color that you like. Again, it's just.
And you can use the template just as a start. You could start it with bricks, and you could add things on. I know Lego has lots of kind of little flame pieces you could put on the bottom from different kits, so you don't have to just do it out of tiles. You know, you could make the eyes out of, you know, little discs and things as well if you wanted to.
Now, what's on the wall behind you, Andre? Is that from all your shows?
Yeah, they're all kind of all the shows I've been in. So there's some there. Yeah. Of course, the first one was Small World Coffee, which is right at the top there.
Yeah.
You just go to a cafe with a piece of artwork, and you know, and you're off and running, aren't you? It's amazing.
Wow. Now, Andre, I noticed that your studio seems to have lots of windows in it. Is that because it's better for you to work in the natural light?
Yeah, the light is really important, yeah, because it's just a much nicer space. The problem is the sun comes in a lot, and I don't like to leave the pieces out. So although there's a lot of pieces in here at the moment, I don't actually keep that many pieces in here because it gets too hot, and heat is not very good for Lego. So I don't leave the pieces in here that much. But yeah, the light's amazing in here. It's really good.
Okay, we have some more questions coming in from our audience. Let's go to those. So the one with the most votes right now, it's coming from Andrea Bradley, and it's got 6 votes, is when a portrait is completed, do you do anything special to ensure that the individual pieces don't fall out ever, particularly when you hang them?
I actually don't. They are very, very resilient to that. They're not going. The pieces are not going to fall off. You know, I've transported them across the country, even actually internationally, and the pieces don't fall off. They're very, very well attached. So no, and you couldn't use glue. It would be so prohibitive to use so much glue. You know, you'd be living in glue the whole time. So no, I don't do anything.
So you don't glue them, and when you ship them, is there a special way to wrap them then?
Well, they get wrapped in plastic first, and then they get these little corner pieces, cardboard corner pieces on the edges, and then you put bubble wrap around them, and then you put them in a box with extra bubble wrap. So just a lot of careful packaging, but it's important to put cardboard on the corners and just wrap it in plastic to begin with.
So you've shipped them to Florida and Texas and other places like that?
Yeah, Paris as well.
Paris, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question that has a lot of vote is 2 questions here is in there. Let's do this one. Where do you get the ideas for the art that you want to make?
Well, there's no shortage of strong women for the portraits, so they speak for themselves. You know, I have a when I do a talk, as you've been to the talk, you ask the audience to suggest strong women you should do portraits of, and there's no shortage of women you could do them on. So that's inspiration in themselves. You know, for other pieces, the strawberries, I just came up with a strawberry idea because the original Small World show was called the Love Show, and I thought the heart in the strawberry represented love. And then when I did different colours of them, I thought the different colours of the strawberries represented love and equality and diversity. So yeah.
And how many different colors of strawberries have you done now?
There's like red, dark red, blue, black, purple, teal, and gold so far.
Okay, and the next question was, how do you decide when you want an image to be a 3D image versus a flat image?
Well, they're all 3D. It's just which part you decide to do in 3D. So, for example, the strawberry, only the kind of the whole part isn't, the leaf part is not 3D. So, for example, for a portrait, I don't want to do the whole thing in 3 dimensions, so I generally do the hair, but like I said, like on Jane Fonda, for Ruth Bader Ginsberg, you know, she's iconic for her glasses and her collar, so I did those in 3 dimensions instead. So I'm just trying to create kind of some textural elements that look pretty cool. So I just don't want to do the whole thing. So it just depends on the piece.
Emily Barrett wants to know if you have any idea how many bricks you have in your studio right now.
Yeah, that's a question I do get asked. So, for example, those boxes with these boxes, with 300, say, in each of these boxes, I'm going to say there's over 100,000, but I wouldn't like to guess.
Over 100,000?
I think so.
Wow.
I don't know. There's probably more. It's hard to say. It adds up very quickly.
And how many portraits have you created of famous women so far?
So I think it's about 8. There's Lady Gaga, Malala, Bjork, Jane Fonda, RBG,
Michelle,
Obama, and then I've done small ones of Gal Gadot, who's Wonder Woman, and Madonna as well, and Debbie Harry, Blondie as well. So.
And now you're working on.
And Greta right now.
Greta.
Yeah.
You know, I actually kind of like, I mean, I know it's probably not, it doesn't, I kind of like Greta with the different color background. I know it's going to be all blue, but I kind of like the half and half as well.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. You build it up, you think it looks pretty cool.
So it was Safa Gulrez who asked about how many portraits you created, and Emily Barrett about the bricks. And then we have one here from Rayan Ash who wants to know what brick is the most expensive.
That's a good question, actually. Let's see. Well, you actually can't get these anymore. They would cost you about $2.
What is it?
This is a light blue 1x3. The most expensive brick. These gold ones are quite expensive. I mean, they're probably about, for a slope, they're very expensive. So they're like 12 cents. The signature bricks cost $3 each to have them engraved.
Okay.
Natalia's building Earth here next to the rocket.
Yeah, I was inspired by the ice.
You're inspired. Okay, we have an Earth, see? And it does look like Earth. That's really a great job. I like that. So we have 2 more questions, and then I'm going to open it up to the chat, and maybe get some users on screen with us. I'm trying to look at our script, what else we have to do here. Let's see. Okay, so people want to know about how fast do you make your creations? Like, how long does it take you to create one of your larger creations, and how much time do you spend working per day, for instance, on your portraits?
Right. So I always say 3 months. That's just like a figure I say, but it could take longer. The design process, like I said, could take any amount of time. The building takes probably 2 to 3 months because even though I have all this Lego, you always run out of pieces. For example, in Greta, there's a lot of white small slopes, so you're never going to have like 3,000 white slopes. So you have to reorder pieces. So I'd say about 3 months. As far as actual work, it's quite tiring. So I probably only do like maybe 1 to 2 hours of actual building a day, because although I know kids have got unlimited energy to play with Lego, it's actually quite tiring building them, standing up, putting it and looking at the designs and stuff. So I do a couple of hours of building, and the rest is like either design or ordering or all those other things you have to do.
Okay, so Andre, what I'm going to do now, and kids, if you're ready out there, I'm going to enable the chat, and I'm starting from now, and I'm watching. The chat is back on. If you want to come on screen, oh look, we have both finished. We have the rocket ship at the Earth and the penguin floating. Those look really great.
I don't have my own signature tiles. So.
No.
You don't have a signature tile? Oh dear. Emily Barrett wants to know: how many copies of the portraits do you usually make?
1, except the minis. There's only
one except the minis.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they take 4 months to make, so it's not like you go into production mode. So they're originals.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be much fun building them again.
Right, and the portraits are not something that you sell, really, are they? At this point,
no.
They're like your collection.
Yeah, so for example, at the library, I could show them as a collection there. For example, Lady Gaga's at a gallery in Asbury Park at the moment, which unfortunately is closed. But yeah, I keep those so I can show them to as many people as possible. Right.
Megan Shackney's son wants to know what's the largest piece you have created. I guess that's in dimensions then?
Yeah, that's the Obama one.
The Obama one is the largest?
Yeah, 40 inches by 30 inches.
And how long did that one take then? Well, it's all black and white. That must have been very tiring to work all in black and white.
It was. It took a long time because I built it twice. I built the middle section in bricks to begin with, and I didn't like it, so I took it all apart. So it probably took about 5 months. Yeah, when you don't like things, it takes a lot of work to take them apart again.
Right. Now, does anybody want to come on screen and talk? We can invite you on. We can have we can have 2 more guests on. Does anybody have a piece of Lego at home that they want to share? Deepika, are you saying that, Arush, you want to come on? Say yes, and that's the case. I'll invite you on. Okay, I'm going to try this. You're going to get a little thing that says I'm inviting people on screen right now. I have 2 Arush on here. Let me see it. Try this one here. Okay, I'm inviting you on screen. I'm hoping it's the right person.
You can flip the camera. So I'll flip back. Okay, I'm on.
Okay, you're here. And Arush, are you coming on screen? And let me also try, maybe that was Megan. Oh. Arush said it rejected. Okay. Let's try. Connor says he wants to come on. We'll come back to you, Arush, if we can. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. And while we do that, I'm also going to invite Augustine online. Usually when these invitations go out, they come right on. Let's try. Okay, and while we're waiting, maybe you can tell us. Okay, so Connor's accepted and connecting. Augustine is accepted and connecting. And they should just be appearing. Hey, Becky, are you still out there, Becky? Why are we not having them? Oops.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Hey, it's working. Hang on, I'm going to make you go bigger. You're online with us.
Oh,
Andre's down here. Are you guys showing us what you've made?
Yeah. Maddie.
Wow. Can you
good.
introduce yourselves to the world? Come up on a little bit higher.
I'm Gina and I'm Maddie.
Hi there.
Hi.
So tell us about your Lego creations.
It's a screen.
Wow.
That's cool.
Are you guys going to try and do some of the art like Mr. Veloux does?
We want to. Yeah.
You want
Yeah,
to?
good.
Are you've been inspired?
Yes.
That is great. Awesome job.
Thank you.
And let me see. I'm going to start inviting some other people on. Do you have any questions for Mr. Veloux?
Yeah, I do. I really like his work. How did he build the people in his main living room?
The what?
How did you build the people in your living room, like the beginning of the studio that you showed?
Oh, right. Well, how? I mean, I design it on a computer. So I take a photograph, which I then pixelate. And then when you get a plan, and then you have to build it up. And yeah, with a lot of Lego.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
Okay, it looks like Deepak wants to come on. Connor says still accepting and connecting. So I'm going to let you three go so that I can bring Deepak on. And hopefully Connor's going to be able to connect. Thank you for showing us your swing. Okay, let's invite Deepak on. And Connor, you don't seem to be connecting for some reason. I'm going to remove you for a second so I can invite Lisa on, and we'll try again later if we can. I wonder why the connections are going so slow. It's usually faster than that.
Yeah, it was slow. So we are connected now.
Here we go.
Hey, his Prashant, not Deepak.
Yeah.
Who is this?
I made a giant Ninjago character and serpents with the Alpishra
Great.
and birds went off.
You're in a tiny window at the moment.
Oh, and we also now have Lisa on with us and Deepak. We've got 2 kids on.
Hey, can you make the windows bigger?
Yep, I'm going to make his window bigger. Hang on.
Ah, cool. Great. So what is that? Wow, it's massive.
Can you go back a little bit so we can see your whole creation? Back up the camera just a little.
Yeah, you talk if you want to say something. Done, then say thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay, thank you
Good
for
work.
coming on. Okay, we're going to bring up Lisa.
Bye. Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, Lisa. How are you? Do you have looks like you have some Lego there.
Yeah, I do.
What are you?
That's
I
cool.
did like the inside of a house, sort of.
Oh, can
that's
you hold it up
nice.
for us so we can see it?
Uh,
Or can you bring the camera back a little bit?
yeah.
That looks very complex. Is that your own creation?
Yeah.
Is it your own house?
No, definitely not. But yeah,
Definitely not. So you like? Are you going to try and make a portrait to send in for the kids gallery?
yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Do that. It'd be cool to see it.
Okay, Connor, I'm sorry that we couldn't get you connected. We
Coming
give
on.
it a try. We have time for one more person to connect if they'd like to get on. So we had some Ninjago. We had a lovely house by Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for coming on. I'm going to say goodbye for now.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that I didn't? I'm going through the list. Oh, Megan Shackney, did you want to come on? Just say yes again. Your son wants to come on. Okay, Megan, I'm inviting your sons on. Hang on. Andre, I know that you get a lot of inspiration from different artists
Yeah.
for your work. And from some books. So we're going to finish with that in a moment because we're a library. We always like to go back to work.
We'll
to
finish
books.
with books in a minute.
So we're going to finish with books after we see what we have to share from these sons of Megan Shackney, who are coming on, hopefully, in a moment. Accepted and connecting. Oh, there we go. That one was nice and fast. Oh, hello. I'm going to make you big.
We are Noah and Nate, and we made
This stuff.
this is with instructions, and these other builds are like without instructions.
All right.
This-
Oh, so what's this build here? Can you hold it up a bit higher?
Yeah, hold it up higher so you can see it.
There you go.
Cool. That's
Wow.
great.
So is that like a fort?
Yeah, it's
Sort of.
we made it for Lego guys.
This is our most recent build.
Cool.
Okay, is that your own
and
creation?
this and this is our own creation also.
We make
Is
a
it-
lot of them on our own.
That's good. I like it. What is it?
They're just starships. That's
Just
what we're good
starships.
at.
Space junk.
Yeah.
Oh, and this. This is a space thing also. This is just a hammer and a space thing. The hammer.
We made these in the past 3 minutes.
You
Oh,
seem to have
and
a- you seem to have a lot of Lego, I
this.
must say.
Oh.
Oh, look at that. Cool.
Now
Some
that's
Lego.
getting more in the style of Mr. Veloux. So now you need to work on that.
And
We
Yeah.
definitely need some of your art up on his website.
Beyblade. Thank you.
It's great.
Connor says, could we just okay,
Yeah.
Connor, I'm going to try one more time, see if we can get you on screen. And oh, you guys are great. Okay, Connor, we're trying again. Thank you for everybody who's hanging on
Thanks a
with us.
lot.
And
See
we
you
made
soon.
a Lego dog. Yeah.
Oh, Emily Barrett says, my daughter designed that shirt. Is that the one from JW?
Yeah.
Ah, very cool.
Natalia
Okay.
went to JW, by the way.
Oh, Natalia went to JW? Yay, JW. Represent Princeton. Okay, bye, guys. Thanks for coming on. Oh, it looks like we have Connor coming on. Is this Connor?
At last, Connor made it.
Connor, you made it. Okay, I'm going to put you on full screen.
Great. Hi.
Oh.
What have you been making?
you see it?
Oh, it looks like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Is it? Can you go back
Yeah.
a little bit further?
We see the Lego.
Hi, Connor.
Hi.
Wait. It won't let me go into full screen. Oh.
Do you have an adult there to help you a little bit?
Oh. Yeah, well, I can't bring my camera around. Nothing's
I see we have more requests for screen, but we're kind of getting to the end of our time. We might have to just do Lego sharing with Mr. Veloux in the future. That would be a fun. Oh, look at that. That is an entire roller coaster.
Yeah. Does it work? Can you send something around it? Nice. Well, these people got a lot of Lego to make things out of.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it works.
You can show it working.
I'm sorry if you can't see it. It's not, my camera's not working very well.
I see. Nice. Well, that was cool. That was very fast.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm so glad we managed on. And I see there's other people, and I'm so sorry we can't get everybody on. But we want to try to be off of here within our hour, and we started about an hour ago. So, Connor, we're going to say goodbye for now. And thank you for showing us your roller coaster.
Thanks a lot. I'll see you.
Bye-bye. Okay, so now it's back to you and I. So we want to just end today. Oh, what's behind you? I see a sugar skull. I think I know where that was created.
Oh, yeah. That was at the library event, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was created with the help of kids at our live library event. We had several kids helping you build and create that sugar skull as a group.
Yeah.
And so, again, I want you just to close up by saying, you know, I know that you often look to other artists and books for your inspiration. I just know that from knowing you. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so I'll show you over here. I've got some books out. The first thing is, people always ask me, you know, you do the flat things, do you have any regular Lego models? I don't have that many, but I do have this one, which, anybody know what building this is?
I do.
It's a Lego architecture kit.
The chat is on. You can put it in there.
I can tell you there's none of my pieces in this building.
But there will be one day.
Yeah, the Lego architecture kits are a lot of fun.
They're incredible. So, what this fella? So, my inspirations. One of my biggest inspiration is Marina Abramovich, performance artist, very, very famous these days. Just for her work ethic and the fact she never gave up on what she believed in over many, many years of, and also the art that she represents about how women are treated and how relationships kind of break down and things. My super favorite artist of all time, Cindy Sherman. Cindy Sherman has literally photographed herself for like 30, 40 years in different costumes and scenarios and used that to represent situations.
And Cindy Sherman is part of the Guerrilla Girls, is that right?
I don't think she was part of the Guerrilla Girls, but the Guerrilla Girls was. Well, maybe you're right. I don't know if she was part of the Guerrilla Girls. Barbara Kruger, very strong on messaging and things like that. Laura Mulvey is not an artist, but she's a feminist critic, and she's said a lot of things about how the media portrays women and how people relate to that and how it affects how we all think. When I was growing up, this was by far my favorite artist, Andy Warhol. I think it just completely broke all the boundaries of what art really is and took, you know, real objects and made them art and then made us question everything about art. And a quick plug for a local bookshop. I actually bought this from Labyrinth Books this week. So I think it's really good to support your local businesses you want to keep open during this time. And if you go to Labyrinth, you can just order and you pick it up. They drop it in the blue bin outside and you pick it up, or they'll have it delivered for you. So Sol LeWitt, conceptual artist. So that's the idea that he just came up with ideas and people later would perform them or present that art. Yeah.
And I know that Labyrinth does have a children's section and they have some Lego book there. Also, Jazam's is another good place to get the Lego.
You can get all the Jazam's for sure.
Yeah, and we really are trying to support our local independently owned stores in town, places like Small World and the Ben Spoon and Labyrinth. We love them all. And so the shout outs here help, and remember to shop them. So we're going to get wrapped up here. Oh, we have 3 questions. I'm going to just see if there's anything. Will this program be accessible as a recording to watch again? Yes, it will. I see that Ibrahim really wants to go on screen. Oh, someone asked if the sculpture that you showed was an art museum.
It is. Yes.
Okay.
Should we say?
Do you have any guesses?
Pardon?
Any guesses on what that would be? You can put it in the chat box. Someone wants to know, will this program be accessible as a recording to watch again? Yes, this will go up again as a recording. immediately here on Crowdcast. It actually does a replay mode, so you can go back and watch it. And then the library right now, we have a lot going on as we move to this more virtual world, but we do have a YouTube channel, YouTube/Princeton PL, and eventually we'll be archiving some of these programs on our YouTube channel, but we have to take some time to clean them up and make them look good for YouTube. But if you come back to Crowdcast and you go to the Princeton Library page, it'll say past events. You can actually look. We've had some other events here this week that have been very interesting. The one by Elaine Weiss on the women's right to vote and the suffrage movement was a really fascinating one that happened earlier this week. One we had on climate change. So yeah, you can rewatch these recordings right here on Crowdcast, which is really fun. And we have people here in the chat saying, thank you, Mr. Veloux. Thank you for the good times. This was great. Thank you. Lots of thanks. Oh, we did have somebody properly guess the Guggenheim.
Good. Yes, it's the Guggenheim. Frank Lloyd Wright is the architect. Yeah.
And okay. So we're going to end, but I think I accidentally invited up the wrong person at one point, and I know that Ibrahim is really wanting to come on. So we're going to end with a piece of, we've had some books, we've had a great time. Thank you so much. Veloux.com. Again, if you just go to the link that's at the bottom of the screen that you can get there. So I'm going to invite, hello from us both in Croisy-sur-Seine.
Ah. Really?
Do we know where that is?
Yeah, I used to live very near to there.
Oh, really? Is that so? That's in Britain?
Croisy-sur-Seine, it's near Paris.
Oh, you lived in Paris? You're really quite international, aren't you now?
For 8 years, yeah. Croisy-sur-Seine, very nice.
Andrea Bradley says, from an old child who loves Legos, this was awesome. Celeste says, thank you, I really enjoyed it and looking forward to making my own Lego art. So we've had lots of people. So, okay, we're going to try and bring one more person up on screen. Let me see if they're connecting.
Nearly.
Nearly. Hang on. I hear something.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
We can't see you.
But we can't see you.
Hey, is that possible?
It's happening.
It is happening. So I know you really want to come on. Maybe next time that we do this, Abraham, we can have you come on screen. And we will try to get something up. You just watch the library website, okay? Okay. Good to talk to you. You want to say something to Mr. Veloux?
Thanks.
Yeah,
so did you have a lot of fun? This was fun, right? Everybody's saying, oh, we got hello from Florida. Thank you.
So can I say thank you to everybody myself? You know.
Yes, you can. I'm going to just take Abraham off the screen and we're going to close down. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so, you know, I want to thank everybody for coming on and watching today. I know it's very difficult for all of us stuck at home, but a lot of us have got a lot of Lego to play with and a lot of creativity we can get out there. So I just want everybody to do their best and get through. And, you know, the better times will be ahead, won't they? We can get through it and be better afterwards.
Okay. You're right. We can get through this and Lego's going to help us. Being creative is going to help us. And thank you so much. I think this was a fantastic program. And maybe we'll be back here in a couple of weeks with something different. Who knows? Okay. We'll consider. Yeah.
Thank you to you, Janie, a lot. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everybody.
See you. Bye.